Hi, I'm astrologer and life coach Penny Dix. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome back if you're one of my regular visitors here. And if you're new here, a big welcome to you. And I'd love it that hopefully you will like what you see and you'll choose to subscribe. So thank you very much. And today I am bringing you one of my short heads up videos. But this one is specifically for the sign of Pisces. And that's whether you are the sun in Pisces or the rising sign, also known as the ascendant. And I always have to do my oceans of emotions, my lovely Pisces fishes, who now have Saturn in their sign for 3 whole years. This is good. Don't worry about it. It's going to really help you. It's really going to help you contain this overwhelm with emotion that you have, because you've got Pluto now in your 12th house, which is going to be changing you on an inner level like you wouldn't believe. And it's going to be there for 20 years. So it's at least 20 years before you get Aquarius coming into, Pluto coming into your sign Pisces. So sit back and enjoy the ride. But what about April? What have we got going on this month? How are you, my oceans of emotions? It's been a little bit kind of choppy and changey, hasn't it? Because we have had some interesting energy, and what we've got this month is we've got it all bunched up in 2 areas of the chart. One is your 2nd house of finance. This can also be about our relationship with money as much as anything else, because it's a Taurus house, but in your chart, of course, it's an Aries house. Now, we have the sun here. Now, the sun is our life force, our soul, our very essence, our being. And the sun at the beginning of the month is conjunct Chiron, our wounded healer. What this is doing is it's helping you get a better perspective on your attitude, your relationship with money. Because it may be that you have been a little bit kind of over anxious about it all slipping out, it all going away, running down the plug hole with all that Piscean water and energy going all over the place. Saturn is going to help you contain that. And I think in that sense, Saturn's also going to help you contain the money that you bring in, the money that you earn. And so I actually see this Sun-Chiron conjunction as very helpful for you. And also you've got Jupiter in this part of your chart at the moment, which will be and will have been bringing in opportunities to find new income sources and for some money to come in. So that can't be bad. Now, Mercury, our planet of communication, is actually moving out of this part of your chart on the 3rd and into Taurus, your 3rd house, which is all about communication, which is quite interesting because Mercury is going to have a retrograde this month. It goes retrograde on the 21st and it stays retrograde until May the 5th. Oh, Siri. Siri, you're never alone with Siri, as I always say. God, it did scare me. Gosh, right, where was I? Taurus, your house of communication. And you know, I put this thing on Do Not Disturb and it still interrupts. There must be a way to switch off Siri when I have everything on Do Not Disturb. I shall have to work on this. Back to Mercury retrograde. That's kind of like an expression of Mercury retrograde. So until May the 15th, Mercury is going to be retrograde in the area of your chart specifically to do with communication. How's this going to play out for you, Pisces? People you haven't heard from for some time are going to get back in touch. Messages that have gone astray, messages that you've perhaps forgotten to send or get in touch with people. There's going to be a lot of catching up and opportunities. And I think there is also with this particular Mercury going to be a slight issue with our techie stuff. So be mindful of that. I think there's just going to be a little bit of internet slowdown or internet glitches and bleeps and all sorts of different things like my lovely Siri here. And so, but don't fear Mercury retrograde. See it as an opportunity. Take time out, sit back and think, what do I actually need to go over? With all this energy focused in your second house of finance, it might be a really good time, if you haven't done it yet, to look at your budgeting, to look at how you can make your money work better for you. Because the full moon that we're getting on the 6th of April is actually in your 8th house of other people's money and of joint finances. It's also the house of transformation. Now, it's a Libra full moon. This is about balance and harmony. Is a financial source about to dry up? Or is a financial source that you've had to pay out to going to end? Could go both ways. Only you can know what that's about. And it may be that you have some choice about this, because it is opposite the sun naturally in your second house of finance, but it's also opposite Chiron, our wounded healer. So there is something here about an agreement to make a kind of a deal that keeps everyone happy with a certain kind of financial situation. Now, I don't know where I get these things from. I sit here and I just let it flow through, because as I'm saying that, I'm thinking, where is that coming from? But I just let it flow, because I let it flow. So let me move on. So that's the full moon. So on the 11th, we have the sun, of course, is going to be conjunct Jupiter. That's going to be super cool in your house of finance. That really is. This is going to bring this middle of the month. The first week of the month is a little bit samey and a little bit and then when we get into the sort of the second to third week of April, we get this lovely Jupiter Sun energy. Jupiter, my big boy of luck, opportunity, expansion, expanding your finances. It has to be. The sun is in Aries. This really is a very beneficial energy to have in this part of your chart. Maybe a good time, Pisces, to buy that lottery ticket. We never know. And you have to be in it to win it, as they say. And also on the 11th, Venus, that rules Taurus, so in a sense it rules the second house, which is the goddess of love and romance, but also of money. Venus is in Taurus in your 3rd house of communication. It's going to move into your 4th house, Gemini. This feels like you're going to be having or entertaining people at home, or looking at ways that you can just make your living space feel a little bit more peaceful and calm. You may be spending a little bit of money on making it more homely for you, more attractive. Remember, Venus likes nice things and attractiveness. So there could be something, you buy something lovely that just makes your life more pleasant and helps you chill more. So we have that energy with Venus in Gemini. It's going to trine Pluto, that of course is in Aquarius. This is in your 12th house. Now you're going to have a lot of this energy to do with your 12th house. As I said, for 20 years, I'm going to be well, I'm still here in 20 years' time and I'm doing this. Yes, I will be talking about it for 20 years. But Venus is trining Pluto, which means that I think you are going to be having some wonderful awakenings and realizations and a real sense of understanding about things that you've been wrestling with on a deeply spiritual level. It's if suddenly that light comes on. And talking about lights coming on, we have to look at the new moon on the 20th, because on the 20th, we have a second new moon in the sign of Aries, which is actually super good for your finances. The first new moon was at the 0 degree of Aries, and that was on the 21st of March, the day after we had the spring equinox, when the sun moved into Aries. Now we have a second new moon in Aries at the 29th degree and 49 minutes. It's so nearly moving into Taurus. And the sun, in fact, just a few hours or a few minutes later, moves into Taurus. So with it being focused in your second house of finance, you really are being given lots of opportunities this month to get your financial house in order. Huge positive energy. Make the most of it, Pisces. This really is a time to put down those roots and get some structure and be quite proactive with how you make your money work for you. Now, what I haven't told you yet about this second new moon is that it's a solar eclipse. Now, I think when the sun is eclipsed, because what happens is the moon passes between the earth and the sun, and so the shadow of the moon moves across the sun. So what this means is that we have some part of your financial situation that is not clear. Maybe it's not clear because you're not actually meant to know about it yet, if that makes sense. Maybe it's just that it's a thing of time. Remember, now that you've got Saturn in your in your sign, I was trying to think of the word timing, because Saturn is all about timing. Pisces, slow down. You can get where you need to get to. Trust that Saturn is going to show you the way. And if there is something to do with your financial situation that isn't yet available to be seen or clear, have faith. Have faith that Saturn will make this clear when it's the right time. So be patient with that. Now, finally, before I finish your reading, let's just look at Mars, because Mars is in Cancer. Remember, it was in Gemini for months and months and months. It was about 7-8 months it was in Gemini. And now it's moved into Cancer. And it's in your 5th house of entertainment. Now, right at the end of the month, on the 27th, it's actually making a hard square to Chiron in your 2nd house of finance. You know what I think this is? Don't spend too much. Mars is going to make you want to splash out on something, you know, it's Cancer, a water feature. So something that sort of brings some harmony and beauty into your home, because remember, we've got Venus in Gemini in your area of home. And I think what Mars is saying, also, the other thing with Mars is you might be just getting a little bit over emotional. And it might be because the other thing that the 5th house can be about is love affairs. So it might be someone that you know that you would like them to be somebody more significant in your life. And there are just situations or circumstances that make it difficult. And so it feels quite wounding for you or difficult. And so this Mars energy, have a good cry. You know, I think Mars in Cancer is just saying, let it out. Let those feelings out. Once we express them, we can get the healing that Chiron wants to give us. So all in all, Pisces, it's a very interesting month. I think it can be a very proactive month, super good for your finances. These new moons that you've got, you know, had are going to be really helpful for you. And Jupiter in that part of your chart really is blessing you. So on that note, I'd like to say thank you so much for coming to join me for your April astrology. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, all of those wonderful things. And thank you to all of you who have recently subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that you've chosen to follow me. Thank you. And on that note, I will say goodbye. Sounds very final. I will say au revoir, goodbye. I will see you next time. And thank you for coming. Bye for now.